this is a brief introduction to Olama. Since I've seen several people ask questions about Deepseek and how can should you even be using it if Chinese authorities could intercept everything that you are saying in it. And I want to make something really clear. We're going to be using a tool called Olama. Olama has nothing to do with Deepseek. It's an open source project that allows you to run any model that is in an open source, and all you need to do is download, install it. I've already installed it. I'm running Linux under Windows using something called WSL, Windows Subsystem for Linux, and Olama is already set up, so you can see I can access it. Now, I can look at the list of models that I've already installed. I've added all of these models. Now, how difficult is it to install a model? It's actually quite simple. You click onto the models section of the Olama website, and you will see that they've made very easily accessible a lot of models. I have to tell you that you can even download models from other sources, such as Hugging Face, which has a lot more models. But let's start simple. So let's say that we want to use Llama 3, let's say Llama 3.2, the 3 billion model, 3 billion parameter model. So you notice that by selecting it, it gives you the actual command for you to execute that and run that model. When you run this command, it will pull the model from the internet if it was not installed, and then once it's installed and onto your hard drive, it will run a simple chat interface. So I'm gonna run it. I already have it installed. If you notice, I have when I did the Olama list, it showed Olama 3.2 latest, which is the 3 billion parameter, and it gives me a prompt. And now I can ask it questions. Tell me how to customize a resume to a specific job role. What's neat is that you are running this in memory. Your prompts and your questions go nowhere. They are being sent to Olama and into the model, in this case the Llama 3.2, and it gives you the response. This is just like a ChatGPT. The program in its most basic configuration allows a novice to run a model and to ask it questions. Now, here's something really interesting. I'm going to use the Deepseek R1 1.5 billion parameter. This is the most compact version of Deepseek. It is a reasoning model, which means that it also shares its thinking before and thinks through its answer before it spits out the result. So llama run, and this one. Now, if I didn't have this, it would issue a pull command, which you could do as well. A pull means just download it and do nothing else. So I could have done a pull, but since I already have this installed, it's instantaneous. The pull will take you between a couple of seconds to several minutes, depending on how big the model is. All right, so let's run Deepseek, and let's ask it, give me the best approach to design a marketing campaign for a new software. The neat thing is you notice the tag think, so it's going to show you its thinking process and how it's going through the question, and it's really very human-like. Monitoring is really important. Finally, wait, but I'm not sure how all of these pieces fit together. So it's going through the thought process of structuring the final answer to the question just like a human would. And then once it's done, that's where this close tag for think ends. It actually gives you the answer. So to design an effective marketing campaign for a new software following the structured approach based on the 6 Ps, and it gives you that campaign, and you can interact with it and add more questions and answers. There are programs that you can install that give you a graphical interface and more features, but I'm going to stick to this very simple example so you understand that although Deepseek was written by a Chinese company, we are not running anything online. We're not interacting with Deepseek or with their servers. We are using Olama on our local machine to send a question to the model, which is really just, but think about it as a data file. It processes it and it gives us the output. Nothing exchanges or gets transmitted to anyone else. For those of you who are a little more advanced, I'll point out that Olama is also a server, so it allows you to connect to it through an API. If you do a quick Google search on the Olama API, you will note that it is actually compatible with the OpenAI API. The endpoint is localhost port 11431, and if you want to see, for instance, if I want to check that this really acts as an endpoint, I can go to localhost, my own machine, API, and I think its version gives you a response that tells you, yes, I'm Olama, I'm available, and the version of Olama that's running is this version. That's as far as I want to go. I am publishing this because there were some questions about running Deepseek, and one should never do that and give the Deepseek folks access even to your prompts and to the data that's exchanged. It's not accurate because this is running on my machine and it is not transmitting anything outside. If you wanted to build a enterprise grade secure AI service that uses uses Deepseek and its powerful features, then you would absolutely be secure. The only problem would be scale. In order to run the larger versions of the model, such as the 8 billion parameter, I'll show you that you can go to Olama and look at the models, and you look at Deepseek. They have models that are as big as a 671 billion parameter. This is enormous. The file size is 400 gigabytes. You would need massive compute capabilities, and this is where you'd move into either build your own personal farm, private farm on site, or there are several different services, and I'm glad to give you folks a kind of a market survey of what are the services. I've instantiated a high performance compute platform that has massive GPU capabilities and spend something along the lines of about $3 an hour and run the largest models. So I'm glad to do that as the follow-up video. Hope this was helpful.